Sun Star's clear stance on defending Caitlin Clark says it all. After their 85-77 loss to the Indiana Fever on July 15th, the Connecticut Sun are now 3-19 on the 2025 WNBA regular season. While this is obviously not ideal for a team that had been perennial WNBA championship contenders in recent years, albeit with a completely different roster and coaching staff, perhaps they can take some solace in the fact that they held Indiana to less points than the Fever had scored in their previous two games, 102 and 99, respectively. All three of which came when the Fever had a fully healthy roster, now no longer the case. Star guard Caitlin Clark is the head of the snake when it comes to Indiana's offense. And when speaking with the media after the game, WNBA legend Tina Charles, who scored 21 points for the Sun on Tuesday, was asked about how her team's applying pressure to Clark on defense was effective. "Yeah, I think Layla Lakin, Bria Hartley, J.C. Sheldon, I think they all did a great job just on her," Charles responded, per a video from the Sun's YouTube channel. "Anyone who was in transition and just locking in on knowing that we need to pick her up early. We don't want her to get hot early. She hit big threes toward the end, but that's what great players do. But I love the fact of how we were able to adjust, and whoever was on her was just really locked in on the defensive assignment," Charles added. She then followed this up by saying, "You do not take any possessions off with Caitlin Clark." There's no doubt about that last statement from Charles. Sun Star's clear stance on defending Caitlin Clark says it all. The Connecticut Sun didn't have to issue a press release. They didn't have to call a meeting. They didn't even need to raise their voices. Their stance was made crystal clear through action, tough, deliberate, and absolutely unapologetic. And the message: if you're Caitlin Clark, don't expect special treatment. When the Indiana Fever met the Sun for their latest showdown, all eyes were on Caitlin Clark, the rookie phenom who's taken the WNBA by storm. Headlines, endorsement deals, and sold-out arenas seemed to follow her like a shadow. But Connecticut? They weren't here for the storybook. They were here for the game. From the opening whistle, the Sun made their intentions clear. They weren't interested in rolling out the red carpet for the league's new darling. No, their defense was personal, surgical, and as physical as ever. Whether it was Dejounte Carrington pressing Clark full court or Alyssa Thomas laying down hard screens, the message rang through every possession: welcome to the W. A statement without saying a word. In a league where narratives often drive attention, the Sun weren't concerned with optics. They weren't worried about public backlash or social media threads dissecting every foul or frustrated reaction. Their job wasn't to coddle the future. It was to compete in the present. And that's what made their stance so loud. They guarded Clark like any other elite guard. No special allowances. No hesitation. She got bumped. She got hounded. She got tested every second she touched the ball. It wasn't personal. It was professional. And it was precisely the kind of test Clark needs if she's going to rise to the very top. This wasn't some coded vendetta against a rising star. It was a veteran-led team reminding everyone, including Clark herself, that greatness in the WNBA isn't just about numbers or buzz. It's about toughness, adaptation, and the ability to grind when the lights are brightest and the pressure's at its peak. Carrington's grit speaks volumes. No one embodied the Sun's stance more clearly than Dejounte Carrington. She's not afraid of the spotlight, and she's definitely not afraid of defending the league's most hyped player. From the moment she took on the assignment of guarding Clark, she was all in, arms flailing, feet moving, eyes locked in. It was defense as defiance. Carrington didn't just want to slow Clark down. She wanted to break her rhythm, to turn hype into hesitance. And it worked. Clark was visibly frustrated. She was rushed into awkward passes, contested on every jumper, and forced into moments where brilliance collided with the sheer force of professional resistance. Carrington didn't say much after the game. She didn't need to. Her performance was a manifesto in motion. We respect you, Caitlin, but we won't baby you. This is the league. You earn your space here. A lesson wrapped in pressure. Some rookies get eased into the league. Caitlin Clark? She's being shoved into the deep end. And maybe that's a good thing. The Sun's stance, clear and calculated, was never about hate. It was about elevation. By challenging her, They were forcing Clark to accelerate her growth. They were demanding more. More control. More poise. More fire. And Clark, to her credit, didn't shy away from the moment. She took her hits. She kept playing. She found ways to contribute even when shots weren't falling. That's what the Sun really gave her, not bruises, but blueprints. Every bump from Thomas, every jab from Carrington, every blocked lane. These were all lessons written in the hard language of WNBA basketball. And if Clark can learn to read them, she won't just survive. She'll thrive. More than a rivalry, a mirror. What makes Connecticut's stance so compelling is that it reflects something larger about the league itself. The Sun aren't just defending Caitlin Clark. They're defending the standard, the culture, the work. The WNBA isn't about catering to hype. It's about challenging it, making sure it earns its place. That's why the Sun's physical, no-frills approach landed with such resonance. They're not trying to silence Clark. They're trying to shape her into the kind of competitor who'll someday give it back, just as hard. They're building her the only way the greats are ever built, through friction. No apologies, just basketball. After the game, Connecticut's coach, Stephanie White, didn't blink when asked about the team's physical approach. "We play hard," she said simply. "We defend everyone like they're the best. No favoritism. No drama. Just basketball." And that's the heart of the matter. The Sun weren't out to create headlines. They weren't trying to trend on social media. They were doing their job, at the highest level, with the fiercest intensity. And if Caitlin Clark's going to become the superstar many believe she's destined